All right, first let me say before we get started, we're here to talk about Franklin County, and we're here to talk about broadband. I will address one issue about me personally before we get started. The question is being asked by a lot of people across the state if I have any intentions of resigning. I have no intentions of resigning. My intentions are to try to make this state better. My intentions are to try to work through all the difficulties that we're going through. I have made one statement. I may make some other statements, but I will let you know about those. We may have some organizational changes in things, but we're going to work through this, and I want the people of the state to know how much I care about them. I want the people of Franklin County to know how much I care about them. They've known that over the years when I was here with the tornadoes and a lot of other problems, plant closings and all sorts of things. They know that I love them, but I want to continue to demonstrate that to them. And that's all I have to say about that right now. So let's talk about broadband. Interconnectivity is so vital to any county, but especially to rural counties. This county is really held back because of the fact that we don't have high-speed internet into all parts of the county. But all rural counties have that same problem. That's why in our initiative, our rural initiative called Great State 2019 Plan, we believe that interconnectivity with all the state, with the rural areas, with education, healthcare, with public safety, and economic development, that is, you cannot have any of that unless you have broadband. And so that's why we want to continue to work on that. Here in Franklin County, I want to commend them. They have set up an authority working with the water authority who has put out water lines across the state. But broadband is just infrastructure, that's all it is. And we have the ability to access about $200 million, maybe more, at a 10-to-1 match. And so we need to look at that, and that's what we're trying to do through the legislature. We want to help rural Alabama, and that's one of the ways to do it. Okay, who else has a question on broadband?
Governor, this question isn't related to broadband.
Well, let's take broadband.
I'm not going to. Lauren. Okay, so Senate Bills 212, 13, and 14, which are pushing for to have businesses get tax credits for broadband. There's 12 days left in the legislative session. These have not even made it out of committee yet. So how will the current distraction affect your ability to push these bills through?
Well, I don't think that's not going to affect it. What's going to affect it is whether or not the Senate has the time to take these things up. One of the problems with those bills, there's some shortcomings because metropolitan areas can access that money just like rural areas, and we really want most of those tax breaks to go to rural areas. So there are some problems with the bills.
Governor, we heard you get pretty passionate in there talking about how these companies are charging our schools double what Mississippi and other states are being charged. What are you going to do about maybe getting them to come down on their prices? Well,
we will be opening the RFPs today. And we will see what their bids will be. And so we'll be able to compare things. I suspect their bids will be lower this time than they were the last time.
Governor, as you're here talking with these folks about broadband, you've been talking about rural health care issues when you move over to the hospital. Is there any concern that your ability to govern the state has been diminished?
Well, obviously there's concerns across the state, and I've got to give the explanation that I can give and let them know, what we're going to do, and basically tell them, how sorry I am. Have I made mistakes? Yes, I have, and I admit those, and we have addressed those, and we've properly addressed those several months ago. I mean, these are old issues. It's just now that people have heard about them. So, but we're going to address those. We're going to move on. All right, what else on broadband?
Governor, do you have any comment on the?
What about on broadband? Are you want to talk about broadband?
Yeah, well, I want to ask you about the report that you and Rebecca Mason shared.
You want to talk about broadband?
Any comment on that?
Okay.
I was going to say, how are you going to regain the trust of your voters right now?
Well, I'm going to continue to work hard for the people of this state, just like we're doing today, and they will see some things that we're going to do, but we want to continue primarily to work with the people of the state of Alabama, and really our goal is to try to make people's lives better, and that's always been my goal. That's all I've wanted to do as governor. You know, I don't take a salary, and I've worked hard for this state, and we've had a good administration. We've had some setbacks, obviously, but we're going to continue to work hard and try to make the lives of the people better, because it's the people that make a difference.
Thank you, guys.
Governor,
Now,
I'm
whenever
going to
you
give you a
say
chance
that
to
ethics
respond to
board-
some of the serious allegations out there about you right now. Spencer Collier says you instructed him to give false information to the Attorney General under oath. Is that true? And if so, why? Today, another state lawmaker saying that you pressured him not to take his concerns about financial spending in your office, possibly connected to the relationship to the Attorney General's office. Is that true? What is your response to that?
Okay. Yeah, whose is this?
Thank you, guys.
Whose is that?
You have no response to these.
We'll see y'all at the
This is your
hospital.
opportunity to
All
respond
right.
to these.
That will
Thank you
that will
so
be
much.
brought out when all is released.
Anything else?
Okay.
All right.
Earlier, were you hinting that Rebecca Mason has resigned? Is that what you were saying?
No, I'm not hitting
Governor,
anything.
you have to say anything else.
Has she resigned? Will you accept her resignation? There are some people calling for recall legislation. All right. On changing your position on whether you'll resign.
No.